Hello, hello. Oh, there's our audio. Evidently, OBS decided to turn my microphone off. Hope you can hear me now. Sorry for that little bump right at the very beginning. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday night Radical Geek live stream. Give me a thumbs up if you're hearing it now because it looks like I fixed it on my end. Uh, I'll wait just a second to make sure. Okay, good. Thanks. I'm glad. I had to, on the fly, it decided to not recognize everything. Now, be in mind, next week we'll be possibly having some painful moments because I will be switching over to StreamYard from OBS Studio. So, I see that we have a lot of people tonight. We have Gretchen Donshredder, who was first tonight. Hungry Heath, who isn't here, can be sad about that later. Jen is here. Renee has joined us. Oh, Rhonda, I'm so glad to see you. It's been a good long time. Ear hustling is fine and dandy. Sharon has joined us. We've got Blue Dove and Swang. And Gigi's here. So, and Lisa's here. And Cool Kid Keto has joined us. I know I've missed a couple people, but we'll catch up as we go. I have a lot of stuff going on here tonight. And so, and Reichwin has joined us. Good evening. And I'm going to start with a really simple part first so that I can set it off to the side and be done with it. One thing I've noticed that with stuffed waffles, even if you've got them good and filled, they often benefit from a little bit of a sauce or a dip or a little bit of a side. And so I did put the recipe in the description, but I'm just going to make a cilantro lime dip. It's super easy. And I'm making a half portion, but I put a much larger portion recipe in the description so that you can make it. It's great for vegetables or with other spicy dishes where you need a little something on the side. But what I have here is sour cream. And in this dish, I have a finely chopped up green onion and about a tablespoon, 2 tablespoons of fresh cilantro and 1 garlic clove run through my garlic press. And that just goes right in there. The nice thing, it benefits as well because this really will brighten up the heaviness of these stuffed waffles, which I find that they need that. So get that, set it to the side. And then the last thing is a 1/4 cup of lime juice. So we'll just mix that right in. The acidity really also helps a lot of it along and brightens up like the heaviness and cools down spice if you've got things fairly hot going on, which of course I do. And we just give it a mix. So that's going to be set aside, and that is our dip and sauce that will go for our stuffler. Technically, it's just a stuffed waffle for me because I have the My Mini, not the Presto stuffler, but it's the same thing. In fact, they're very similar in capacity. So the recipes are completely interchangeable and all of that stuff. I know that most of us like the carnivore batter instead of the whey isolate, but I'm using the whey isolate. And there's Dyson to say good evening to everybody. I'm just going to set this out of the way now. But yeah, so that was it. That was easy peasy. And possibly, if possible, any of my upstairs lovely family wanted to come grab the dog so he is not lonely, that would probably be appreciated. But also, he'll stop eventually. Sorry. All right, so let's see. We just got basically a lot of hellos here, and Strong is saying it's perfect timing because they're trying for them to try out their pizzelle maker. Oh, I'm glad. I will have to make some pizzelles for us in the near future then too. I hear people on the stairs now, so that means someone's coming to get the dog. So, all right. That was our dip. Now we can set it aside and forget about it until time to eat. Oh, now he's running away. It's so hilarious. I'm sorry that you guys can't hear that part, but I literally heard his little steps going above me and running away and hiding. All right, so tonight we're making a Vietnamese iced coffee. This is actually a sweet drink that they make in Vietnam using a sweetened condensed milk. I made a sweetened condensed milk that I have right here. It's keto. We did not make it live on this stream because it takes like almost an hour. But all you do is you melt down a little bit of butter, and then once that's melted, you add in your heavy cream and your allulose, and you bring that up to a boil and immediately like turn the heat all the way down, because once you do that, we are golden. And then you basically, on that very, very low heat, you just stir and stir and stir until it is the thickness you like. You have to be really careful if your stove is electric. Pull it off the heat occasionally while you stir, because if it gets too hot, it will become caramel sauce. And pretty soon, a little bit further, it will become actual caramel. So if you want sweetened condensed milk, and you can see mine maybe even got a little over brown, but I don't mind that one bit. So there you go. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh, let's see. I missed whatever is causing them to say, oh, Humorous Life said they just finished wrapping up their coastal turds. Now to remember not to touch your eyes. Oh, yes, for sure. You know, and I see Sharon asking, what's a coastal turd? So I'm going to let Humorous Life talk about that a little bit. But yeah, don't touch your eyes. And honestly, if you have something dairy and stainless steel, or some lemon juice in stainless steel, you can rub your hands on that with the soap, and that will help take that so you don't burn your eyes by accident. So I'm not sure. I'm losing track here. You guys are being very funny, I think, and I'm not, and I'm having trouble here. Oh yeah, and Humorous Life says they wash their hands, but the peppers stay. Yes, even when you wash your hands, if you're dealing with hot peppers, the capsaicin and the oils from the peppers remain on your hands for quite some time. So you do need to be mindful to stay away from your eyes, or they will burn a lot. All right, so let me talk to you a little bit about the coffee device that we're using today. We have done a hot Vietnamese coffee before, and I showed you these, but it's been quite some time. And now we're going to do an iced coffee. I do have my cup of ice here that we will use near the end. But these are called coffee fiends, or a more Americanized, the coffee fin. Neither pronunciation is incorrect. I do not know what determines who says which way. I've heard Vietnamese people say it both ways, American people say it both ways. So your guess is as good as mine. I don't have any sort of authority on the pronunciation, so if I am saying it the wrong way, or you think I am wrong, I apologize profusely, and feel free to angrily just keyboard warrior at me in the comments, and we'll know differently for next time, and I'll probably still do it wrong again because I will forget, having heard it both ways so many times. But I have a full set of 3 sides. This is a single serve. Now, these come just like this in one little set. It does not come with the pitcher for the bottom. It has a lid. It has a filter. Some of these have, mine are push filters, so they just rest on the top. But some of them also have some that with a screw, and I'll tell you a little bit about that as we prep to brew. And then it has the cup, which has the little holes in it, which I don't know on the camera if you'll be able to see the mesh or not, but just in case. And then it has a little plate with more mesh on it. You put the plate over the hole, and then you put your brewer. You'd add in your coffee, and then you add in your filter, And from there is where you'll do all of your normal brewing things. We start with a bloom, and then we add in the water, cover it, and let it drip. So, but this is a single cup, and we do not brew teeny tiny single cups here very often. I've used this pitcher for a bunch of stuff before, but if you guys like it, just, it's like a little cheapy one on Amazon, but I love it because it looks like a little honeybee hive. And it has it's basically meant to just take for like serving, and it has a little lid that goes with it. So just some little fun stuff there. I love my kitsch. So, and this is the full pot size fin. So I have my little ramen pot that I use for like everything that I use for it to brew into. I guess I didn't catch Dyson. He ran away, hid, and now he's upset again. We might just have a howling dog for a little bit tonight. So there's the plate, which also, they all are the same, the mesh. And it has the lid, the push filter, and the basket that everything has the holes because the coffee has to drip through it all. And I will be using tonight, get out of the way, the medium. Because I am. That's why. I like a little bit larger than a single cup, not quite a double. We'll go from there. So it's the same as I've showed you. And for the pitcher, I'm actually just using the pitcher from one of my pour overs. This is what I refer to as my, I don't know, this one, it came from Coffee Gator. It has a permanent wire mesh filter that goes with it. And I honestly, it came with something else that we got from Coffee Gator. I believe it was the little, it was one of our mocha pots that I use for travel. And it came with this and some awesome little espresso cups that I love a whole lot. So, but I'm not fond of the metal filter. I like my Chemex and preferably actually my V60 way more. So I never use it. So it may as well be a good pitcher for brewing with my fin. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our sweetened condensed milk. We're going to be smart and turn our water on so it's heated in the kettle. I didn't think this all the way through. That's fine. We're just going to pour some in. So you can see it's a nice sweetened condensed milk consistency. Oh, I don't need to get too carried away. So let me set my little spoon over there, because we'll use that for mixing. And now we'll set that aside. And now we set up our fin. Here, I'm not the best balancer, so I'm going to bring my coffee over. And it's just basic, it's your basic 3 grind like we do for basic drip coffee, because this is a type of drip coffee. And you just put it right in the bottom. It won't fall out. Maybe if you grind too small, but if you grind too small, it's also going to leave a lot of fines in your brew. It will also take forever. Occasionally, I've ground it too tight, and this might be tonight. I maybe should have gone with 4. A little coarser might have been a smart plan. But I'm not going to fuss about it. If we need to give it a little stir, we do. But you take that, and now I just install my filter. Boom. Water will be in just a second. But you see what happens is the condensed milk pools right down at the bottom. And this is the key to your Vietnamese iced coffee. This drink is very popular in Vietnam in the hot summer days. They use condensed milk for a couple reasons. One of the reasons is because dairy is hard to get in Vietnam. They actually have to import most of their milk, and importing in hot summer days is expensive and not easy to do in large quantities. And so once you condense and pasteurize milk, it extends, and plus then it's already sweetened, which makes for very pleasant in your hot, steamy, humid summer days. All right. the water is all set. I'm going to bring this closer. And we're going to do our bloom, which means we're just going to put in a teeny bit of the water and let that filter in and get the coffee grounds good and soaked. We'll fiddle with the filter just a smidge. We'll go ahead and cover that so it can bloom. You know, that takes like 30 seconds or so. And it will take a while for the coffee to start dripping and brewing. It always does. And like I said, I think I might have ground a little too tight and we might have to. I see Exchange Student 2 has joined us and says hello to everybody. Lots and lots of hellos and talks about Dyson. Oh, and Brenda says they made a creamy. Yeah, mine always takes 2 spins and then usually a respin after that. But I freeze it pretty hard. While we wait for that bloom, let me give it a check-see here. All right. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill this up with water. We'll see. Like I said, I think I got the wrong spoon. And just like our regular, you're not supposed to, but I do like to give it a little bit of a stir because that kind of gets it going. And you should know that coffee from the fin is super concentrated. And you should be able to see now how it's starting to drip through. We can let that go for a few, and then we will do a second pour of the hot water. It's a very slow brew. It takes a lot of time. Let's see. Oh. Yes, I'm very mean to Dyson. But, you know, to be fair, he spends a lot of time with me. A lot. And he's going to be even more difficult in next week, actually. Or, well, the week after next week. The week of August 1st. Because not only is our 20-year-old moving out, another person that they bonded with a great deal, but I have to go to the office for like 3 days. So he's going to be fit to be tied. So, oh, look at this deliciousness, guys. Look at it. Well, okay, now you can't see because of my black tablecloth, but it is pitch black in there. Just the way I like it. All right, I've got my 1.25 ounces avocado oil. And then to that, we're going to add 1 egg. Uh, 1.25 ounces of heavy whipping cream. And then we will add in 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Aluminum-free, gluten-free, if that suits you. I think that is what most people prefer. And I definitely need the gluten-free because I have celiac. So we always make sure gluten-free. The aluminum-free is better, but I would be far less upset about that than I am about the gluten. So baking powder. Then I have corn extract. And in this case, I'm not trying to make it taste like cornbread, but I find that it gives it just a little bit of a change in the flavor. So it's just like maybe about 1/4 teaspoon. And I don't have the OOO cornbread. I have the Amaretti version. It doesn't matter which one. You just kind of want to add that little bit of, it helps it with its savory note. And make sure that it doesn't get any sort of sweet kind of lean. Not that it's going to when you see the rest of the ingredients. We are going to go ahead and add one scoop of the ISOPure whey protein isolate. So if I can open the bag. Okay, there we go. And let's see. All right, so there's my whey protein isolate out of the way. Let me take a look here and see what we've got. Oh, and let's see. Oh, Natilla mentions that we don't hear that you guys can't hear Dyson as much as I can, so it's not that bad. But he definitely does not want to be caught. But, well, yeah. And Jen is asking if I will be if I could come up with a recipe for a stuffler made with some sort of coffee. And I will tell you, watch this space because I have it in progress. It's not perfect yet, so might add a little more water. And that will get me to the quantity I desire. And again, once I add, we do a couple turns to the right and a couple turns to the left. And like I said, it takes forever to brew. Like 100 years it feels like, but it's delightful and really concentrated. It looks like the tablecloth, which is black, so that's even with the condensed milk in there. Anyway, so I left off at my whey protein powder. So then I'm going to add my Parmesan cheese, 4 teaspoons, which seems to add up to a little less than a quarter cup. You don't want it to be too cheesy, except for I do want it cheesy. But the Parmesan cheese also lends to the crispiness of the batter. And now here's the jalapeno popper waffle portion of the ingredients. I've got 1 of my nice jalapenos and 3 strips of bacon, all crumbled up. And if you're wondering, yes, I did eat the other bacon. I'm sorry, 2 strips of bacon. I ate the other part of the bacon that we cooked today. I did share it with the other household members, but I ate most of it. So we're adding that in. As you can see, this is going to be a batter full of stuff. So in addition to stuffing our waffle, we are infusing the batter itself, the waffle, with flavor. Then I have 1/4 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, extra sharp, which is the flavor that really goes with your jalapeno popper. And this is going to be our batter. Let me get this to mix it up. Let's see. Oh, and Reichwen is giving away tips and tricks about coffee, but mentioning that you could infuse your batter with the instant espresso liquid and then add cream cheese with cinnamon. So I wasn't using cream cheese, but I am using an espresso base in both the batter and the filling that I've been trying to work out. It's really close. So, but it was still a little bit too tart leaning for me to say it's a ready to go recipe. So coffee stuffler is coming up. I would say give me a couple weeks because I have a bunch of other stuff also in queue to cook. And of course, you know, we're moving our 20-year-old out. And I see Brenda saying too cheesy. Is that possible? Probably not. But if it's too cheesy in the batter, it overcooks too fast and then gets a little bit burnt. So you don't want it to get burnt. You just want it to be nicely crunchy dark brown. All right. I gotta get in there with this spoon again. One second, folks. getting a little bit of a vacuum there, so you just gotta help it along a little, because I would like my coffee sometime this year. All right. I know, have some patience, Maitreya, but there we go. Anyway, so that is the waffle batter. So just to repeat that, I used 1.25 ounces each of avocado oil and heavy cream, a quarter teaspoon of baking powder, 1 whole egg, and 1/4 teaspoon of corn extract, 1 scoop of whey protein isolate. I said the baking powder and I said the egg. And oh, I'm forgetting my number 1 ingredient, my quarter teaspoon of unflavored beef gelatin. I'm glad I looked over there, guys. We almost missed out. The gelatin adds to the moisture and the fluffiness of the batter. So it's an important ingredient and a terrible one to possibly leave out. Then I use 2 strips of bacon crumbled. I cook it up crispy, and by the way, I do not drain off the grease of the bacon because that also adds saltiness and a little extra fat to the batter. But they've also sat for a while, so some of the grease goes away of its own accord. Oh, Hungry Heath has joined us. Must have been late getting out of work. But he said, oh, no, not because of work, because some tasty oven-baked Tex-Mex ribs. Ooh, that sounds good. That's all right. Don't worry about that. Oh, and lots of suggestions on things to do with a coffee stuffed waffle. So talking about Lily's chocolate chips with a sort of dessert theme, and possibly a brown sugar substitute, and oh, Jen is suggesting maybe some mascarpone cheese with the chocolate as a filling, or a cannoli type filling. When you talk about the cannoli type filling, you're really getting close to where I am at with things. Now, let me talk about the stuffing part of this waffle. This is my popper disc. So a few days ago on my YouTube, I made pig shots in the air fryer, and I made an awful lot of very spicy cream cheese. And I said I would show you what I'm going to do with that. Well, I took that the leftover cream cheese, which is about 3 ounces, and had a lot of seasoning and some chili powder in it and all kinds of fun spices. Season it up however you like to season up your jalapeno poppers. But then I took, on top of the chili powder that was already in the cream cheese, and I fine minced up another jalapeno. So, and then I put it into the mold. These are mini cake molds. I actually discovered these on from Shelly Steak on the Hungry Heat channel. She shared the link for them when they were making some big giant buns. And so I also shared the link to where you can buy these on Amazon. It's a perfect size for the My Mini. I don't know if it fits the Stuffler or not. But I took that and then I froze my disc. So, frozen disc. You can put unfrozen cream cheese in there, but I'm telling you that it's already leaks a little bit with the frozen cream cheese. If you don't want exploding waffles, freeze it. Freeze your disc. It warms up and gets soft. So let's get this going. Everything takes so long to cook tonight and to brew. But you're going to put your batter in. Make sure that the bottom is good and filled up. I've discovered that it's better to make sure that your bottom is filled in the waffle maker. Voila, we set in our disc. A little bit of it crumbled away and no big deal because it started to soften up waiting for me to get it cooking. And now we just top it off. I'm way overfilling this, so it's going to burble over and leak. I don't know if that makes me sad at all. Actually, maybe I didn't overfill it. Ha, perfect. Let me scoot some over to cover that cream cheese. Alrighty. All right, there's a little leak over here, but nothing egregious. And if I am quick, oh, not bad at all. Only one teeny little leak. So I did not overfill it. Sounds like famous last words, doesn't it? Oh my God, my coffee is still freaking brewing. What am I going to do? It is killing me. Oh, and yeah, Exchange Student 2 says, thanks for the recipes in the description. You're welcome. I'm trying to do better and be a bit more scheduled about it and better at planning as opposed to doing everything on the fly. That's still a little chaotic, but, you know, it is what it is. So, let me give a look-see check on my coffee. Oh, it still has a ways to go. Oh, and Hungry He says the warden is on creamy duty, so do not disturb during that important mission. 100% heard. Ice cream rules. And it's okay because this is going to take time, and then we'll do our chatting and talking and all of that stuff. Oh, okay. It's almost done. It's really close to being done. I forget how big the pitcher is in relation to how much coffee I'm brewing. There's not a whole lot left. Double check it. Yeah, so I guess depending on which version you get, you probably want to grind 4 grind and not 3. 3 seems to clog it just a smidge. Not that I have a big problem with that. I don't mind doing a little extra work, and also, you know, it's going to go right over ice, so it's nothing that's a big deal. It's already getting all of that sweetened condensed milk dropped into it, so it's all good. All right, I'm just going to have some patience and let it finish. And in the meantime, can I just tell you, I can smell this sizzling and the cheese getting crispy, and it is, I'm pretty hungry, so it's kind of making me a little crazy. So I wanted to show you how deep rich the coffee is looking. So you can see it blends right into my black shirt. All right, let's get into these comments, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more because it has been a long time since we've talked about coffee from Vietnam. Let's see. Oh, Humorous Life says they've learned it's not wise to stand in a folding cloth chair. Last night they were rescuing a tree frog on the wall and their cats were going bonkers. Oh, they fell in their knee and palm. Oh gosh, I'm glad that your hand isn't actually broken though, even though it probably felt like it. Oh, that sounds terrible. And OP is asking, what flavor of ice cream are you guys making? What is the warden spinning up? OP says they like to do it while they are out in the garden. So then they come in to do the respins. That sounds nice. I'm also curious, what flavor did you guys go for with it? Oh, I will tell you, yeah, so you're sore today, so that's not good. I will say one of the things too, I feel you a little bit, but not nearly that severe. Yesterday, we went out to a fancy dinner, and I'm one of those people, I need to wear socks. I don't care. I like to wear socks. But I wore my Mary Janes because I was dressing nicely, and they're very comfortable. They're old lady Mary Janes, but I did not wear any socks because I thought it looked dumb with a skirt. And let me tell you, it was irritating. It felt terrible. I had to go into the REI, which is a sporting goods store. You know, it's camping, running, cycling, all that kind of stuff, and buy emergency socks. But just to make it worse, we went in there, and just as I'm going, the automated door decides that it's not actually going to stay open for me, and like runs right over the top of my foot, cutting it open, even though my shoe seems unimpaired. I could not believe the agony of my foot. And I'm just going to superstitiously say it's because I was foolish enough to go without socks. So I know so many people who cannot wear socks, or who cannot wear socks, and I am just the opposite. So, oh, and the Hungry He says they've got Keto Chow lemon meringue with fresh blueberries mixed in. That sounds fantastic. All right, so let me talk to you a little bit more about this coffee. It's the Vietnamese. I buy the Nguyen brand. They import from Vietnam and roast it in New Jersey. It's actually one of my very favorites, and I believe I almost used all of my bag up, so I'm going to have to get some more. But, and I will say that like 90% of the coffee out of Vietnam is Robusta. That is their thing. And they provide the world like 40% of the Robusta coffee. They do have Arabica beans now, but it's not like a big portion of their harvest. However, they do export a lot of it. Like they still provide, even though Arabica beans are not their thing, like 20% of the world's Arabica beans. And they're incredible. Absolutely stunning coffee. So, I will say, too, they are in contenders for one of the top coffee importers. I know that they are exporters. They provide more than Colombia. The weird thing about it is while some of the countries that are big with coffee culture and with coffee farming, Vietnam came in with a bang, but not until very late. Gotta check. It's not yet because I can't pull it up. So, plus there's a lot of steam. I just need some, I know, patience, right? But I don't have any. Also, tonight I'm having a generic Kirkland sparkling water. That's what we're at, folks. So, anyways. Oh, Brenda says they also wear socks. Their feet are super sensitive. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just hate it. I hate being without them. Like, I'm on a rant now. This waffle is sizzling away, and that's crispy cheese smell. Oh, so where was I? Oh, yeah, so coffee. They've actually, so like a lot of things when we talk about origins of food, lots and lots of places, people make a lot of claims. There's always a lot of mythology and stories surrounding the whole ordeal. And we talked about the origins in the past, but a different story. Probably not true, but who knows? They like to say that they like to take this claim that one of the first documented bringers of coffee to Vietnam was early in the 1900s. And they said it was a Catholic priest trying to get away from things, brought some Arabica trees to Vietnam with the idea in his head that he was going to become this big industry leader and start a big business. And however, Vietnam did not take to this idea, and so it was a big failure. They did not succeed in starting their coffee industry. It wasn't until much later when they went all in on the coffee, and it wasn't with those Arabica beans. Again, like I mentioned, it was the Robusta. So, oh, and Brenda says they'd like to learn about Hawaiian coffee. Ooh, I'm going to take you up on that one because we have not bought any of Hawaiian coffee for a while, so we're due for a spell. And it is a very tasty coffee with lots of fun stories. But, so, back to Vietnam, though, since that's what we're talking about. Um, Also, as an FYI, I did not forget about white coffee. I just have not pushed the button on actually ordering it. So, but that is also down the pike. I do have plans on the white coffee. So, oh, and Humorous Life says they love Kona coffee. I agree. I do too. It's really good, but I'm totally sold on the Robusta. It's a good, strong, sturdy, delicious coffee. So, what actually helped Vietnam with their coffee industry is they started growing these Robusto beans, but it was in 1987 with the Deux Moi economic reforms. Uh, that's actually what opened up Vietnam for trade. And then suddenly, boom, they were able to do so many awesome things. I just got to get a peek in here, guys. Oh, oh, oh. Am I ready for this? Now, it's still a little soft. I'm going to close it. Just a couple more minutes, but it's just about ready. Bring my plate over. All right. Get my coffee. Bring my dirty bean over to my little tray. So I'm going to come in here with my spoon and make sure that sweetened condensed milk is in there. I will tell you that my coffee is very dark. They usually add more sweetened condensed milk than that, but you know, I can't. We had a really sweet coffee recently on the stream. I just can't do another one that's that sweet. Plus, it's going over ice. Did I nail that or what? Perfect size. Make some room over here. So there we go. I will tell you, it's usually several shades lighter with that sweetened condensed milk. So I don't like it that much. I like it darker and not as sweet. Oh, it's perfection. So, and the nice thing though is because it is sweet, it also plays well off the very spicy waffle, which we are going to pull out of here. My little pieces off. And unplug my stuffler or my mini. I had a couple little overfill pieces. Check it out, guys. I almost dropped it on the table. That would have been depressing. So I'm going to set it just for a second. Where's my silverware? Here it is. I will move my waffle maker out of the way and just wipe up the table a little bit. Got like little water droplets everywhere. So, just so you know, it is crispy. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, yeah, you can. A little bit, not a lot. So, it's definitely nice and crunchy, but it's also soft and fluffy, especially on the sides. So, let me just cut into it. Oh, and remember how I told you that cheese would melt, not to worry about it being frozen? There you go. Ooey gooey, cheesy, liquidy. I'm going to just squeeze that back down. And this is the other thing that we need to talk about with these stuffed waffles. Guys, this is 4 servings. 4 servings. I might eat 2 servings tonight, but it's 4 servings. It comes in. I didn't put the macros in to the description, but This baby comes in at over 1,300 calories. It only has 5.6 carbs, total. So that's awesome. 5.6 total carbs, but yeah, actually, give me a second. I can pull it up and tell you the macros, and we can talk about it later. Let's see. I know I entered it. All right. Let me tell you about it. So, yeah, for the full recipe is 1,316 calories, 112 grams of protein, 95 grams of fat, and 6 grams of carbs. So, you see there, you're getting almost your perfect 1-to-1. Not quite, you're a little lower on the fat, which is shocking, but yeah, it's definitely, this is not like your light meal. This is something to do for the course of, it's a shareable or an OMAD or any of those. And I see someone else has mentioned that it's OMAD. And Gretchen Donchender says, oh, it's waffle asthma, which kinda, yeah. But then on top of that, I'm adding some of this dip to it. So yeah, you really got to be mindful of some of these because the recipes all of them are very intense. And it's just one of those things to pay attention to for your planning so that you plan appropriately. That's not to dissuade you from eating these, but it is that reminder that we have a lot of wiggle room because the carbs are very low, but nothing is actually unlimited. So we do have to pay attention to that. I would like to add some of the cilantro lime dip on top of it. Like some of the ones that are a little bit drier, instead of the oozy cheese in the middle, are nice because you can just pick them up, like the pizza ones. You just cut your quarter and you walk away with it. These are really more fork and knife. But I am not sad about that in any way, shape, or form. Delicious. And the waffle is perfect. That cream cheese is pretty intense. There's no pulling punches on the flavor there. Adding all of that stuff to the waffle batter definitely punched it all up, which I think is I'm really in favor of that. So it's a flavor bomb. So it is a lot of intense flavors, but none of it is like bad. It's not over salty, anything like that. But it is a lot, especially because I had put chili into the cream cheese and then I cut up raw jalapeno into it. Oh, and Gretchen Donchender said their food is at the door, that I stimulate the economy because they got hungry watching me cook the food. That happens to me a lot. A lot of times I think I'm not hungry, and I'm not. But then I come to some of these live streams, and by the time we're done talking, I'm ravenous because they look so good. Then Hungry He says the next time they make a pizza stuffed waffle, they might use the Pork and Good pizza flavored pork rinds and turn into panko. Ooh, that sounds good. My suggestion on the pizza stuffler is that you do a combination of the cream cheese and the ricotta cheese and chop up some of those meats into it and make a disc like this so it gets all creamy inside. Then saute up a little bit and make them crispy. Some of those pepperoni chips and possibly even some salami chips, and mix that and some mozzarella into your waffle batter. That super amps up the flavor of the pizza. Also, if you eat fruit and vegetables, add a tablespoon of marinara into your waffle batter for the pizza stuffler, and that helps. That takes it over the top. So that's my recommendation for the pizza stuffler. Uncle Kid Keto says they already ate, but they are hungry again. I mean, I don't blame you because this is definitely right up my alley. I love jalapeno poppers. I could not. I could eat all of them. If there are trays of them at a party, I would. I can eat the whole thing. So let's see. Oh, and Hungry Heath is complimenting my ideas, and Humorous says their house is smelling awesome because they added extra ginger to their Korean-style ribs. Ooh, yeah, I love ginger, and I love really punching it up. And OP says they're also hungry. Well, I'm glad that means that the food looks good. It's hard to tell sometimes on videos. I'm going to take another really big giant bite, so ask some questions in there. Oh, and Hungry Heath says, don't forget some evil ooze. I think that the evil ooze would be good had I not added so many other things already and made my sour cream top or my cilantro lime dip. However, if I left the jalapeno out of the batter, I think the evil ooze would mix right into some sour cream and make an awesome topper. All right, so let's see. Oh, pieces I like poppers cold the next day. I like poppers fresh, cold. However, every bit they're delicious. And Cool Kid Keto says maybe egg roll in a bowl, but stufflerized. Ooh, that's a great idea. And I just bought sausage that would go great. Pork sausages that would be awesome for egg roll in a bowl. I just need to get some more cabbage. Oh, Rhonda, you're asking about my journey. At the top of my page, there's a highlight that tells me a little bit, that talks a little bit about my journey. It's not real in-depth, but it gives a good overview. I don't know if you saw that intro. I called it my origin story. It doesn't really get into details about telling me about my current, but it does. It's actually, I feel like it was a good high-level overview. If you go to the Radical Geek YouTube, it should be the top featured video. And that does, it does talk a lot about it because I mentioned all of my health struggles. So I've been thinking about doing an update and just kind of to freshen up and stuff, but I don't know. It's a lot. Oh, and Humorous Life says they made the Hungry Heath cast iron pizza last night, but it was really good. And one of the things that I forgot to bring down this evening, I just want to share with you guys. I have an embroidered apron that I got right around my birthday, and I meant to wear it, and instead here I am risking getting all dirty. But it has the Coffee Talk logo on it, and it's just spectacular. And that came from Sharon Holloway. So she's done that. And also for those of you who have seen in various Facebook forums, my creamy koozie, it has the Radical Geek logo on it and my name on one side. So she embroiders those and makes the keto koozies, or the creamy pint koozies, which are perfect for keto ice cream. So I believe that Attila has the link somewhere that he can post out for Sharon. And if he hasn't already, if not, he can redo it, and it doesn't hurt anybody. And if you want to see some amazing, some really awesome embroidery products, her site is fantastic. Plus, she's also one of our local Ohio peeps. So I'm always fond of highlighting local talents. Oh, and Jen says they ordered a Hungry Horde apron. I can't wait to get it. Nice. And Hungry Heath is agreeing that Sharon's work is amazing. And there is the link. So if you're interested in that, pop over. Also, if there's something that you need or want, I don't know her availability, but you can always reach out to Sharon and talk to her about your ideas. She's super brilliant. But now she's here, so let's not say any more nice things. So I'm just joking. That's my sarcasm here. Yes, I'm too lazy to pick up the glass. I'm just going to lean over on the counter. So what else do we need this evening? I just mentioned about the Vietnam being open for trade, their Robusto coffee being amazing, awesome, awesome. I don't know. I'm not really a shouter in that avenue. I don't. I'm being told that I should shout like Heath, amazing, but I don't think so. Just like I'm also not going to wear a microphone and go to the bathroom on my channel. At least that would be especially awkward because I'd have to leave for a long time and go upstairs. But I'm also not live as nearly as long. I don't know that I could last that long. Oh, let's see. I see Hungry Heath is saying thanks, Jerry, but you know what's funny? That Jerry's not here this evening. They probably have some fantastic activity going along, but he was curious about this Vietnamese iced coffee. So, oh well, I guess he'll have to catch the replay. Maybe he'll leave a comment. Humorous Life says they thank me for not going to the bathroom with my mic on. I'm sorry, Heath. We're just not gonna let that go. It was too much. uh, we razz you because we love you. So, uh, are you ever gonna live it down? Probably not. I mean, maybe we'll let it go for your birthday and we won't give you a shit about it there. So. And Sharon says there's some report items to help support the Hungry Heath portion of each sale that goes to them. Nice. Let's see. I'm missing something that Jen said. Oh, Jen said they finished a good book tonight. If anyone's looking for a read, it's Calling Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by G7. And it's about two friends who design video games. Oh, is it fiction or based off of a real story? I'm going to pick it up. I think I might Audible it though, because if it's in Audible, because I believe we have a credit that we can spend. I'm not sure. Oh, you're never living it down. Never ever. All right, so. Oh, it's fiction. Okay. So the book is fiction. That's all right. I really dig stuff like that. I feel bad because I think that, you know what, I canceled Netflix because I was really mad about something. But now I see a bunch of shows that I want to watch on there. So I might have to resubscribe there too. But I'm trying to remember what was the show called that we watched on there? Anyways, it was pretty cool. It was based on on Commodore and all of that kind of fun stuff, and it really took me back to the 80s and being into computers way back then. So there's lots of good stuff out there. I have to take another great big bite here, so sorry, folks. Oh, the verbal stabbing back and forth, you guys. See, this is why we're friends. Mm. Mm. And for those of you who are wondering, it is extremely cheesy. So, 100% cheesy. So cheesy. So, if you're a cheese fan, this got you. Oh, Rhonda says, yes, it is on Audible. Awesome. I'll have to look into that later. I use Audible books as a reward. Like, I only listen to Audibles if I'm walking or if I'm riding my bike inside. So I have to do things so that I can listen to the books that I bought on Audible. Oh, and Humorous Life said they figured out there's a difference between AHS and American Horror Stories. They were getting confused on various season/episode titles. Oh, I don't know what the difference is, so please do enlighten me. I saw some of it come up on Hulu, and I am actually lost because it's been so long since I've watched any that I can't figure out which is what. So, well, it is what it is. I'm going to have another sip of this coffee. So, and I did mention to you guys that I was going to try to switch over to StreamYard next week. So I don't know yet. I still have to kind of figure some of the stuff out. I might ask some of you guys who already use StreamYard for some tips and tricks on that and how the switchover went to see if I can make it slightly less painful. But if you notice me going live or anything during the week, don't worry about it. It's not going to be anything useful. I'm just testing. So, oh, and Humorous Life says there's recommendations to watch AHS first because of Easter eggs and then the others. Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out and pay attention. Well, anyways, I believe that's everything for tonight. Is there anything that you need a recap of before we head off for our Sunday evenings to do our weekend duties to get ready for start of the Monday? Other than that, some things that I have upcoming. I know that we are talking about. I have you guys that TikTok trend for that those chicken chips. I didn't find ground chicken, or at least the ground chicken that I saw in the store didn't look right to me. Not that ground chicken ever looks that great, anyways, but I just didn't trust it. So I have ground turkey. So we're gonna find out if it actually chips or if it's another one of those weirdo TikTok things that's all fake. But we'll do that. And Jen, yes, you can definitely use the keto condensed milk to make Thai iced tea. Oh, and Gretchen says they still have a whole week of vacation. The Monday has no power over me until a week from now. If you like, you'll probably just ignore it anyways. I'm like, well, very early morning. I believe I will send you a text message. But I have gotten much better about that. I have friends who are early morning people, and we text at all hours. Oh, and Cool Kid Keto said they ate chicken chips with their hard-boiled eggs today. So when you say you ate chicken chips, crispy chicken skin, or did you actually do that TikTok thing where they pasted up the chicken and then made it real thin and air fried it? Because that's what I'm going to do with the turkey. And I'm highly suspect that it will just wind up being super dry, hard chicken that isn't actually very chip-like. Turkey. So we'll find out. It will either be an utter delight or a horrible disaster. Let's see. Oh, Visual Keto says, hey guys, they're going to have to watch on replay, but they love Vietnamese coffee and, of course, food. Yes, I believe none of us would be here if we didn't like food. Oh, yeah, that's true. Jen says the paycheck remains the same whether I let the Monday scaries ruin my Sunday or not. I choose not to let it ruin it, but I do choose to actually be well prepared. And boy, I've got some stuff going on, and I'm hoping that people come along with it, so that everything goes well tomorrow. Because if it doesn't, I have to go up the escalation chain, and it's going to be very ugly. I do not want that all to happen, but we'll see. Oh, and Cool Kid Keto says they saw where they did it with the ground chicken, but they dehydrated sliced rotisserie chicken. Okay, so other kind of chicken chips. Those are good. Dehydrated chicken I don't know if they're chips or jerky, but yeah, I've enjoyed the dehydrated foods before, the meats. Oh, and Hungry Heath mentions his first day of the week is always Sunday. Yeah. Oh, this is your last. Oh, this is Jen's last week in their current role. Oh, so you know what? It will probably feel like forever, but also at the same time, it will be done and over in no time. I'm so excited for your new job. When you said it, it's sounds like such a great change for you. And then Gretchen says that on a regular 2-day weekend, the Sunday seems to last about 7 hours instead of 24. For sure. Oh, you know what, you guys? It is time for me to get off. I'm going to finish my quarter of my waffle here. And then I have to go upstairs and put yogurt in the Instapot so that in the morning I can put it in the strainer. So, um, and Humorous Life says she hopes everyone has a kick-ass weekend with no regrets. I don't have that tattoo. My tattoo is actually awesome, but I'm going to make that. I love that little GIF. That's pretty hilarious. Oh, and then Cool Keto shares that they're off on Tuesday next week, and they have tattoo appointments. Ooh, I can't wait to see them. All right, really, I'm gonna go, and I will see you guys, a lot of you, on Two Crazy Ketos tomorrow for Keto on the Couch, and all of our other little community things. I hope that I get to see a whole bunch of you at Ketopalooza. Just, we've got some good stuff that we're going to be doing there at Ketopalooza. And it's going to be Heath's birthday. So, it's going to be fantastic times. I'm putting together something special for us to have a little treat to share, but I'm not going to reveal it until there. So you guys have a great time. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and then hit the little bell icon to notify you. Everything helps out a little bit. We are on our way to 500, which will give us the community tab. And then I have a sponsor who's given us something really awesome to give away. So everything helps. You guys have a good one, and I will talk to you all later. I appreciate your time with me every Sunday.